It is another beautiful day, kind of, for a sports show. It is not Monday. It is a Tuesday afternoon at 7 o'clock. We told y'all. We told y'all to follow us on all our social medias. We told y'all to follow us on YouTube and trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. We might switch it up on you every once in a while. So this week we had to switch it up. So we apologize for not popping up on Monday, but it is a Tuesday. It is 7 o'clock, and we are ready to roll. This week was full of headlines, and we're definitely going to get into them. But first, the first thing you should do is make sure you follow us both on social media at JWill02 and at Dre on air, underscore on air for each of us individually. And most importantly, the show. Follow the Academy Sports Show on Facebook and on Instagram at Academy Sports Show. But the most important follow, the most important subscription, the most important notification is the YouTube. Make sure you log on to your YouTube. Go ahead, click that red box with the white play button in the middle on your phone. Click it. Type in Academy Sports Show. Find the caricature of our faces. That's our channel. Hit that subscribe button and trigger that bell one more time. That way you get a notification every time we go live. I got mine. Did you get yours? We are live, Doc. We are live. All right. Like I said, we got a great rundown for you. And of course, today is day one of the NBA Finals. No LeBron, no KD, no mega team. All right. So we're going to break this thing all the way down. And with that rundown is my man, the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend himself, browned out over there, ready for the football season already. It's Joel Williams.
Man, what is up, everybody? Man, listen, we are just about a month away from our first practice. Just about a month away, and I know the finals are starting tonight. But I got some new stuff for my birthday, and I thought I would just,
Hey,
rep my city a little bit straight out the CLE, baby. What up, everybody? Man, welcome to the show, man. You heard it from Dre, man. We are here. It is a Tuesday, the NBA Finals edition. Finals open tonight. We got a great show ahead for you. A lot of stuff to talk about, man. We gonna open it up. We gotta slow roll it, of course. You know, we want you to jump in here. We want you to stick with us as we go through it. But it's some things been happening around the sports world. So a couple of different things have happened. We're gonna touch on them today. You all heard the news about Sha'Carri Richardson. We're gonna talk about that. There's been an update on that situation. Plus, Scottie Pippen's been tripping. Scottie has been tripping.
Make sure you put that on the thing when that comes up.
All right.
Scottie Pippen been tripping.
Scottie Pippen has been tripping. And so we gotta touch on that real quick because we are a sports show, and that has been some of the news here lately. And then some local news, man. Michigan basketball just received some good news today about Hunter Dickinson. So we're gonna touch a little bit on that. But of course, you know we gotta get into the NBA Finals. It is tonight. Produced by PD in the building, man. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you always joining us, checking us out. Man, we sorry about your Hawks, man. They went ahead and went down.
They tried.
They did try, man. Trey just couldn't play injured, man. It's okay. But y'all got a great future. Y'all made Nate McMillan the guy now down there. Instead of making him in the interim, he is now the head coach. So congrats to a great season. But the finals kick off tonight, man. Phoenix Bucks, game one in Phoenix. Giannis has been upgraded to questionable. Like it's the Giannis status watch.
Giannis watch.
So we're gonna give our opinions, man. We're gonna talk about these finals, man. We're gonna talk about the things that we think we expect to happen, some of the important things for each team. And as always, we'll give you our predictions not only for game one, but we'll go ahead and go out there and tell you how do we think this series is going to pan out. So get ready, get your popcorn ready, prepare yourselves. We need to hear from you. Appreciate everybody joining us in the live feed. Let us know you're there. Shout us out. I see you. We know it's a number of people in here already. Say hello. Let us know you're here so we can shout you out, man. And then we go get it. And produced by PD say, yep, J Reverse CP3. Interesting. What up, AP? So let's get it in, man, tonight on the Academy Sports Show.
And you always know If you're feeling froggy, we definitely got the link. All right, you understand me? We got the link that we can shoot you. If you don't like what we're saying, or you got a idea or a way that you feel, man, just say, "Hey, shoot me the link. I want to pop in for a couple minutes to give my 2 cents." So hit us up, man. Let us know. We will shot that link out to you. Shoot that link out to you. All right. So first up, Joe wanted to touch on this one because it's close to the heart. We see y'all. We see y'all. We see y'all. Yes, sir. We here. Drew versus CP3. What up? Let's go. MVP CP3. Let's burn through these hot topics, these in the news for the last week. Let's burn through these real quick. Let us know how you feel, and then we'll get to the finals talk. So first up, Hunter Dickerson says he's going to the draft. He leaves. He says goodbye, and then he realizes he's not good enough for the NBA draft and comes back. How you feel about that? How you feel about that?
Okay, I like how you brought that one in. Uh, hey man, this is big news if you're a Wolverines fan around here. Michigan was slated in the top 10, preseason top 10, even without Dickinson returning. If you follow college basketball, as we do during that time of year, Michigan had the number one recruiting class, and a lot of recruiting services have a top 10, first time in a long time, if ever, that I can remember. If you got to go all the way back to the Fab Five days when the recruiting class was sick like that. But yeah, man, number one recruiting class coming in, and Dickinson, Wagner, and even the transfer from it's slipping my mind right now, but all of them were looking at draft opportunities. Wagner is slated for in some boards to be a top 10, top 15 pick, so he's probably going to stay. But the deadline to decide if you're going to return to college is tomorrow. And in that time period, Hunter Dickinson has decided to withdraw from the NBA draft, return back to Michigan, along with the senior guard that is going to be transferring in. He's coming back to prove something. Felt like he was also told that he has some things he needs to work on. So these are going to be two hungry guys coming into a group that will be bringing in four freshmen that are considered to be the best class in the country. This team is now officially loaded. I think that's the interesting thing about it. The idea here is how do you now get time? Because we've never been this school, never been this number one class school. So are these guys coming in number one class one and done guys? That's usually not how Michigan does it. We're not used to that. We're not used to that level of talent. Don't know what it's like to be a fan of that.
Gotta get with the times.
Yeah, we gotta keep up, right? So this is gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Coach Juwan Howard makes things happen. But big news in the college basketball world. Hunter Dickinson, very dominant last year. Definitely needed still some more work. I think it's going to be very interesting. Him coming back, he'll get some more work as a big man, and he ain't staying another year. So they better win something this year.
Now, something like that is usually you're not getting the feedback from the scouts that you thought you were going to get. So you come back. Do you think that's pretty much the case here?
Yeah, I mean the NBA and college basketball have a great setup where if you're a young guy and you have a great season and you're hot, you can take that risk, but you can do it and find out that you're not a shoe in to get in. Basically, first round contracts are guaranteed, second round contracts are not. So you go, you find out based on what your aspirations, your dreams are in regards to getting to the league. If you want to get there and you want to get there a certain way, you want to get there and get that guaranteed money, then if they tell you what they think is the right thing to tell you and what you want to hear, you stay. If not, as long as you don't declare yourself as a professional by hiring an agent, you stay agent free. You have until the deadline that's out there to decide to return back. And in this case, he did it back. So, yep, as Kobe said, welcome home, young fella. We welcome you.
We welcome you. Ain't that a church thing? We welcome you.
That is a church thing. That is.
All right. Yep, Kobe said, "Welcome home, young fellas. Welcome you." Produced by Pete said he could have still went to the draft if he didn't get picked up. He could have returned to Michigan. He said, "Oh, I didn't know there was a deadline to choose." Yeah, it's different. Every league is different.
Yep.
That's the NBA's rule. You got to make your decision by a certain cutoff. I mean, he could have been a free agent and worked his way in, but there's nothing like that guaranteed money. It's nothing like that lottery pick money. So he made the best decision for him and his family. All right. So next up, man. Next up, this topic set the world on blaze.
No
I,
pun intended.
no pun
No pun
intended. This set the
Nice
world
job.
on blaze, man, and everybody was talking about this, but they're still talking about it, and we definitely want everybody's opinion on this. This young lady captured all our hearts by qualifying in the Olympic trials and doing it in the blackest black blickety black. Oh, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. Miss Sha'Carri Richardson qualified for the Olympics. She was going to run on the relay. She wasn't selected. She was going to run, I think, the 200, set world records. And it was found out a couple days ago that her test sample came back positive for marijuana, which is a violation for the Olympics in sprinting and any other Olympic qualifier. And she has been suspended, and she will miss some time. And now it seems like she's off the relay team, which I think was her only other way to get into the Olympics, possibly to be selected for the relay team. So it looks like she will be missing the Olympics. This put Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everything ablaze. How did you think? Well, what did you think when this first came out?
Disappointment, man. I mean, I watched the trials, and I mean, she just came on the scene and took over. And I love the Summer Olympics. I love watching track and field. So this would have been special. It would have been interesting to see her run up against the Jamaicans, and to see if she could get that dub and become the fastest woman alive. We haven't had a 100-meter sprinter, a female sprinter, win a gold since Gail Devers. So, it's extremely disappointing considering where the world is with marijuana and the legality of it and things like that. And this is an international track and field rule. So, there's nothing that the United States Track and Field Federation can do. Um, that's disappointing. I mean, not even a bunch of outcry can help. But at the same time, big ups to her. She owned it. Um, I hope that all of that she stated is true, because it definitely has brought a lot of sympathy to the matter that she was dealing with. The grief she was grieving with she was grieving over the loss of her mother, and that was for a lot of us, not me, but for a lot of us, our people, that is one of the ways that we grieve by. One of the many ways, it could be prayer, it could be weed, it could be alcohol. It's all that. Yeah, it could be all three. You never know. So I'm interested to hear from the listeners, man. Everybody in the live feed, man. How did you guys feel about this? I think you have your place on your belief of if it's wrong to smoke marijuana, is this punishment for that? I mean, there's just a lot of. I think everybody has an opinion on it, and that's the beauty about opinions. They're yours. You could be right, be wrong, and that's in somebody else's opinion. But at the end of the day, it's your opinion. So, as far as I'm concerned, man, very disappointing, and now even more disappointing that she won't even be on the relay team. So there's absolutely no chance for her to run. And now it's a matter of you got to wait another 4 years before you see her again, maybe 3 if they try to get back on their even year, because of the postponement. So it didn't. Yeah, produced by just said. I understand the reasoning, and I don't see how this is going to affect her performance. It wasn't. She didn't. She ain't running that fast because of weed, y'all. So it wasn't. It's just, it is a rule. She broke the rule. She owned it. I think again. I don't think she's doing this to seek out any more sympathy. She said what she said. She said this is what happened, and you know, yeah, it just sucks. Pringle said disappointed to not see her run, but normally when you train for the Olympics, you know the rules for a long time. Yeah, I mean that's true. Is I mean she's been running. She ran at LSU. She burst on the scene. She knows the rules, and unfortunately we know the rules in a lot of arenas sometimes, but trauma and grief and those things like sometimes will overrule that. But yeah, I mean it just I think that sums it up. It sucks. It sucks. Produced by says she wasn't gonna be high breaking records. She definitely was.
Yeah, my first reaction when I saw, I was like, "Dang!" Like she was being elevated. She was like they was putting her on a great pedestal and deservingly so, just because how raw and authentic she was, and she was out there killing. You know what I'm saying? So people love stuff that they never seen before, especially being representing young black women as well. So it was like, dang man, that sucks. And the internet is a powerful thing. All the memes, all the videos, all the celebrities speaking out and on her behalf. But this is one thing the internet could not sway. It couldn't change the rules of, like you said, of an international game. So it sucks, but it feels harsh saying them the breaks. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Mm-hmm.
understand her trauma, you understand the
Mm-hmm.
grief, and you understand the pain. And you don't want to be passive, but at the same time, she knew, and I respect her for taking onus of her actions. And I respect, how she did it. She went on Good Morning America or something like that, and
Yep.
spoke out and said exactly what happened. She wasn't asking to be, have any special
Yep.
treatment. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? All the special treatment that was asked for her was from us,
Yep.
essentially. She didn't ask for any special treatment. She took her punishment and she said, "I'll see y'all at the world trials."
Yep.
So her respect is amplified through all this because she could have definitely took a whole different route that could have been negative, but I respect her.
Yeah, Pringle said it. So now stay clean and kill them in the world. Yep. So if you're a track and field fan, World Championships happen. You can watch those. And they usually get as the closer you get to the next Olympics, that becomes an even bigger and bigger thing because to be the world champion, kind of going into the Olympics, you're like the favorite. So she's
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to have another opportunity. She's very young, so it's disappointing. Definitely gonna be missed in these Olympics.
And then Petey just brought it up too. I was going to say because she was going to be the person that brought millions of people watching track and field that's never watched it before.
Never watched it.
She was
Yep.
going to be that person that bring them in there to sit in front of the TV with their friends and their daughters and watch her run and just being, black people love some black people. Like
Yep.
we was watching the video at my house the other day. We just be happy for us in these situations, big or small. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And she would have set the internet on fire. She would have captivated a lot of hearts. Just out there competing in general, win, lose or draw. So the Olympics are definitely missing out. We're definitely missing out. But once again, I respect how she handled herself through this situation.
Petey said Olympics only hurting themselves. Pringle said it's really the same thing because the Olympics are what they used to be anyway. Yeah, I agree. Petey said I guess Switzerland's gonna win. I love it. I guess Ireland. Petey's on fire tonight, man. He's not. I'm glad your mood isn't down because of your Hawks loss, man. You got good strong energy tonight from
Who's
producer.
winning the 100? Jamaica's like, we're in there now.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right. So we will definitely see her again. Most definitely. All right. And the last up on news and notes. This one, this one definitely came out of left field for a lot of people.
Like everything this man has said in the last month.
And this quote definitely, captured a lot of ears. So Scottie Pippen was on a podcast. He was on Dan Patrick's show, and Dan Patrick was interviewing him, via remote. And Scottie Pippen, looking homely and disheveled, and every other word that doesn't describe how you're supposed to look, just I don't know. He said that Coach Phil Jackson was racist because he drew up a play for Tony Kukoc instead of him. And he said Scottie Pippen. He was talking about himself in third person. So why wouldn't Coach Phil Jackson draw up a play for Scottie Pippen? Scottie Pippen there. Michael Jordan's not here. Who's the next best player on the team? Scottie Pippen. So why would you draw up a play for Tony Kukoc? It has a hint of racist in it. He was a racist. So Dan Patrick, of course, he doubled down. He needed that quote. Any good journalist is going to double down once you hear that. He asked, so are you calling Phil Jackson a racist? He said, yeah. He said Phil Jackson was a racist off of that interaction and just off of what he saw throughout his years of playing with the Bulls. I thought, dang, Dominic Foxworth had a beautiful take on it on First Take. He said, he's selling something. He's selling this rum. He's selling this book. He's selling some stuff. Whatever you want, Scotty, I will buy it. Just stop saying crazy stuff, please. So, what are your thoughts on the whole Scotty Pippen thing?
There you go. It's gotta be, man. Like Pringle just say he's ruining his own legacy. Shake my head, and we're still not reading his book. BD said Jamaica's licking their lips reading that headline. Yeah, man. Listen, man, I didn't hear what Kobe. I didn't hear what Phelps said. Put it in the chat, man. I did not hear what Phelps said. I just think this is sad, man. I hate to see guys, players, people do this type of stuff to sell something. Like we've watched it. Like it's on film. There are receipts of interaction. We just watched a freaking documentary where you all but praised the whole process and lavished in the limelight of what was you guys' 6-year, could have been 8-year run. And now you want to do this? Come on, man. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't like like that's what it is. You just shake your head like what are we doing here? Like are we supposed to listen to this and believe you? And then I think I heard Stephen A talk about it. He said, oh, like the day after, or like 2 days after, you came out in the media and apologized about your behavior. And then everything was all right with you and Phil Jackson. Like, this stuff's all on tape. So it's been like 20 years.
Yeah.
And you're just not waiting till now to say he's a racist? For the last 2 years, all this Black Lives Matter, all this power to the people and change, and all the stuff that we've been witnessing, you have ample opportunity to call out some people being racist. And now, because you're selling a book,
Bruh, now
I'm not reading your book. I can't. This is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, bro. He tripping. Pippen is tripping. That's
it is tripping.
He's tripping.
Yeah, I ain't got, I ain't got.
We just had to bring it up.
I ain't got nothing for this because that nigga crazy.
You know what he gets? He gets.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he gets.
Yeah.
A few of these today.
Scotty, I'm sorry, Scotty, but you crazy. I can't do it.
Man.
Pippen is tripping. All right, so let's take that. All right, we got one more. What's up? What popped up?
No, I'm trying to see. Wait. Petey said Pippin's trying to pimp his book sales. Pringle said he's already proved he's an idiot businessman through his former contracts. Failure to commit to liking Jordan or not. Yeah. Petey agrees with the Bells. Oh, gosh. That's so unfortunate.
Uh, so Kobe sent what Phelps said. I don't know. Did Michael? Is this really Michael Phelps or is this somebody acting like Michael Phelps? I don't know.
Hold on, let me look. Oh,
Okay.
you know what? Actually, Kobe sent us something else too. What? Oh, never mind. That's a side note. Wait. Let's see here. Hey, keep my name out there. They suspended me for 6 months and I ain't dropped dirty. Eh. Did somebody try to say he was smoking? He was doing weed or something?
Yeah, remember he got suspended for smoking.
I mean, hey man, if he said it and that's how I feel about it, I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm at that level. I can't imagine what it's like to be them. So, it's like if you had a situation and then somebody else has a situation, I'm sure you probably don't appreciate, being called out or your name being dropped in it. Why it's like because you'd be like, why you gotta bring me up? You know what I'm saying? So, what did you think about the Rachel Nichols thing?
Uh,
That,
so
that was the other one.
so the
That'll be
Rachel Nichols thing. This is how I progressed through the information. Instagram, Steven Jackson. Right? Yeah, I scroll at Steven Jackson going, "Hey Rach, what you gonna do, Rach? We need some answers." And I'm like,
He's
what
become
did
like the
Rachel
voice of
Nichols
black
do?
people on Instagram.
Huh?
Has he become like the voice of black people on Instagram?
He be trying, but
Yeah.
you know. But he'd be like, "What you gonna do, Rach?" And I'm like, "What did Rachel?" She was just on all the smoke. Like, I don't understand. What did she do? So that got me to googling, and I found that thing on TMZ. That's why I shot it to you. And I'm like, "Oh man!" So I listened to the audio, and to me, basically, it was basically it's my job, and I want to keep my job, and I don't want to give my job to anybody else. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy that she's talking to insinuating that they're only giving her these positions or suggesting those positions because of when they're in the bubble, Black Lives Matter. It looks good for publicity. Have another black person representing the NBA in that frame.
Yeah.
Rachel Nichols, I think her mindset was job preservation, and it's like she said, it's in my contract. This is my job, and if they could have, they probably would have, but since they couldn't, they asked. Right? Somebody can't ask. Somebody can't take your director stuff from you. They have to ask. Can they facilitate your powers to another person because
Right.
it's yours?
Right.
So they had to ask her, and she said no.
Right.
That's pretty much all she said. No, this is my job. I like her. She's good at stuff, but this is mine. Find her somewhere else. So that's how I took it. And then everybody kind of went crazy. I feel like the other person she was talking to was more out of pocket than she was. But I made sure to watch the jump the next time it came on. She apologized. It was brief. I get it. She didn't want to make a whole segment out of it. But she said the girl's name on camera. She's like, I apologize to you, that this happened. I apologize to my colleagues and all this stuff. But I feel like it was a non-story, but it was a story. But it just kind of got blew up.
Kobe said all she did was say, "Don't ruin my gig with your stance." That's all she said. Yeah, this felt like. I agree with you. It felt like somebody wanted to keep their job. Somebody wanted to keep their position. It's a competitive world, but it's also a volatile world because of today's climate. And it felt like my man was a little more active in the push of trying to make it something bigger than it was. It's a hot mic. I think that these people work in this industry, man, y'all got to learn how to turn these dang mics and cameras off. Like, I don't know how y'all keep making this mistake every once in a while, or maybe
They
y'all
said,
don't make a mistake, and maybe somebody's trying to low key get you. So sometimes I think that's interesting too. Um, but I mean, it felt like we were forcing the story a little bit. We, as in, I think social media, because just today's climate. But my man seemed to be the one that was trying to insinuate things, and I don't think she took the bait. I don't think she really agreed with him on that. I feel like she was more, like you said, more or less just saying, "Hey, man, she's great, but give her something else to do. Like I don't want to lose my spot." And I think that's fair. I think you got to have the right to say that, and she can't be villainized because she said that, and the lady she's saying it about is black. I don't agree with that. So I'm with you on that one. Non-starter.
yeah.
Petey said I would say the same too, but more professional.
Yeah, I mean, but are we professional talking to our colleagues when we think nobody's listening?
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Me and Joel said some crazy stuff before we press play.
Yep.
So, no.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Pringle said, but Taylor isn't that good, so. Why you gotta shoot the shot on her, man?
You get a bell for that, AP. That's on you, bro. Like if that's how
I
you feel, that's
don't
how
know.
you.
I don't know. All
All
right.
right.
Then one last thing too. If you want to throw this up, this came down this week as well. I just thought about the NCAA allowing endorsement deals and players to be paid on their likeness. Master P's son just got a $2 million deal.
To do what?
I don't know, from some company. I don't know. Spencer Rattler got his endorsement deal for some chicken place in Oklahoma. Like, so they were waiting for this. Like, I feel like these guys, people, and their secret agents, because they're not allowed to have agents, told them that this is coming down the pipeline.
All right.
So they were just waiting for these things to happen. And then as soon as the word came down, now this is happening. So the biggest thing for me is NCAA basketball and NCAA football better be back very soon. That's the only two things I care about. Otherwise, let them get paid. Let them get paid. Let them get paid.
Yeah, man. Congratulations, man. It's time to finally accept the fact that these guys are making, and let's admit it. I mean, these are the two biggest sports, and they are making these schools millions upon millions, and that millions upon millions becomes billions upon billions. All right, so you can argue. Yeah, you could argue that Michigan is Michigan, but I'll argue that Michigan isn't Michigan unless the players that have come there and gone through those doors that have made Michigan what it is, one of five schools in the country that stays in the black in their budget every year. Yes, it's the brand, but the brand is the brand because of those who have come through the door. So, congratulations, man. Eat up, make your money, and I would love to see EA Sports. Remember that? It's in the game, man. Those are two of the greatest games ever. I would love to see those come back, though. That would be awesome.
I didn't play NCAA basketball as much.
I didn't play it as much either.
But NCAA football, the gameplay subpar. It's the recruiting.
Yeah, it's the whole story franchise of it.
It's the whole, recruiting a guy, getting them to be a 5-star player by senior year, sending them off, or he's a junior trying to leave. No, just stay with the program.
Yeah.
Don't start at Michigan, okay? Don't start at a 5-star school. You understand? Start at Akron, okay? Start somewhere with a 1-star and build it up. That's what you do. That's where the fun is. Don't start at LSU. They already got 5 stars. All right? Don't do that. Start hard and then work your way up. I love that game.
You want to play now. Let's see. We got to go back and catch up with these comments. Let's see. Petey said Taylor who? Rooks? Wow. You
No,
get a
that's how
bell?
it works.
Aaron Pringle said, "Wait a minute, what are the bell rules again?" Trying to see if I should be earning more. That made me laugh while you were talking. This is the bell, ladies and gentlemen. The bell represents everything that is about our show.
Good points, bad
Yeah,
points.
it could be good, it could be bad, it could be sarcasm. Just occasionally, you just get a bell. You could get it for a good thing, you can get it for a bad thing, and in this case, you got it for the bad thing because you took a shot at the woman while she's down. Petey said, "This will make student athletes stay 4 years because you can make money and a degree." What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would think those athletes that can market themselves in other sports that's not basketball and not football. Because if you're good enough to get drafted in basketball and football, you're not staying 4 years, right? But if
Right.
you're a softball player, if you're like, we was watching women's softball, college softball tournament. It was a
Yep.
girl named Odyssey. I was watching all her games. She was a dual player, pitcher, black girl. I was like,
Yep.
if this was then, she would have definitely got a brand deal with somebody.
Right. Right.
Because she like captured America's heart who was watching girls softball. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So if you're like that level of player, softball player, baseball player, anything like that, that definitely gives you more to stay for your team. But if you're, Kevin Durant, you're going 1 year and leaving. Don't make no sense for me to stay 4 years just so I can get some endorsement deals.
Petey said, "Imagine graduating with $3 million in your account already and then getting drafted by the Cavs. The Cavs always got top picks." So, thank you. I feel like we haven't known Petey a long time, but he is a faithful and consistent listener and participant of the show. And I feel like Petey knows that I'm from Cleveland, and that was low key a shot. So you get a bell for that. So see, Pringle, this is how it's working. The bell is active tonight. Sometimes, some weeks, it's quiet with the bell. But apparently, Pringle just said, "Bet I'm on it." He got it. So Pringle might also be getting more bells as well.
All right, so let's make that hard pivot over to the NBA. Let's start with the teams that lost first. Hold on. Let's start with the teams that lost first. Let's start. Where do they go now? Where do they go from here? Let's start in the Western Conference. The Phoenix Suns made it to the NBA Finals by beating the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. Some say they would have beat them with Kawhi. Some say it would have been a 7-game series. What do you say about the Los Angeles Clippers and where they go from here?
I don't know. I don't know if the Clippers would have won just because they had Kawhi. To me, Paul George wasn't the Paul George we ended up seeing because Kawhi was present. Like, to me, Paul George played second. He played second position on the team, which is very comfortable for PG. We all know that. But I don't think
It's colder in my joint, bro. It's like 68 degrees with this air conditioning on.
I
don't let me put it off.
I don't think that. So I don't think, and so offensively they were a little challenged. I think going in like throughout the playoffs. I mean, you got to think this team was down 0-2 twice, and miraculously, yes, I know they came back. They won those series, but I'm one to say you can only do that so many times before you end up losing a series, and it happened. They lost to the Suns, but at the end of the day, sir, I don't know that they would have. I don't know that I feel like they would have beaten them. I feel like the combination is weird. It's been like that way here for a couple of years. I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi is not back in LA next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't wearing another jersey. Because to me, I feel like Paul George took over and kind of made this his team. And you had guys like Bobby Schroeder that Bobby Jackson that had a great playoff run, man. Like, my man stood up in the playoffs this year. So I'm looking forward, and I never really cared for him. We used to kill him when he was in Detroit.
Oh man.
So I mean, my man has definitely improved his game. So that team is definitely still loaded. I think
Goggles.
Ty Lue did a great job coaching them. I just don't know that they would have beat Phoenix, but I don't. I don't. I don't see Kawhi in the Clippers jersey next year.
Oh, that's a hot take. Um, yeah, I feel like the group there definitely rallied around PG and all the stuff people were saying about him. They definitely were galvanized by him, and he definitely played well,
He did.
and he definitely played more consistent this series than he has in previous playoffs. So kudos to him. Um, I don't know if Kawhi can galvanize a team. I don't see that. I don't see people like Kawhi got us. You know what I'm saying? You know he a bucket. You know he a mid range killer. You know he an assassin. He got all the tools and all the intangibles. But there's a lack of leadership and just not the thing that you need in a locker room. Like people aren't robots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if it was just, just go out there and play basketball and we win the game, that's cool. But people go off emotions, and if they don't rock with you, ain't nobody gonna play hard for you. Ty Lue definitely put his coaching on a pedestal, though. I appreciate how he coached that series with the pieces that he had. Definitely got the best out of Paul George. We all know Paul George re-signed that supermax, so he's there for the next 5-6 years. But it is on Kawhi. Does Kawhi come back? I don't see a situation where he doesn't. It would just look bad for him. Like you go from the Spurs to the Toronto, and then you go to the Clippers. Like you're supposed to be this player, and you keep hopping around all the time in these short spurts. Like you got to put some roots down somewhere, man. And I feel like this is your best option to win. So no Reggie Jackson next year, like Pete, like produced by said. Reggie about to get paid. Somebody gonna throw him a bag, and then he gonna suck again. But shout out to the Clippers, man. They definitely were the best team, and they were definitely were the best team in LA this year. So next up, PD's Hawks. PD's Hawks. So the Atlanta Hawks, they re-signed Nate McMillan. They take the interim tag off, give him a 4-year deal. Trey Young going to come back next year healthy. John Collins up in the air. Is this a situation where the Hawks can continue to be competitive, or is this a situation where they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals this one time and then they go back into the 7-8
Middle pack.
Yeah,
Middle pack of the East.
yeah.
Now they seem like they're pretty talented, man. That's a lot of young talent on that team. I say they run it back. I think you got to sign Collins. I think if you can go
Run
out
it
and
back.
find
Hold on. What is run it back? What is
I think this team's good enough to be back in the same position next year.
Really?
I think this. I think. I mean, because there's two reasons why I say that. One, you gain the experience of doing this right here against all odds, so that the belief level in that locker room, y'all got to be able to walk. Y'all can walk on the floor right now with a belief level, with a belief level that you can beat anybody. Um, Now I think that there's an addition needed. I think there's one other player. Is there? Do you need another glue guy? Another guy that can get a bucket outside of Trey Young? Is there another? Is there a free agent out there? Is there a vet that will come and play with Trey Young? If you get that guy, you got a great defensive scheme, and y'all can't tell me um, those guys on the Hawks didn't ball like Hooter or Herter
Herder, yeah,
or
they
back out of
did,
it.
but it just seemed like a moment. It didn't seem like they're here to stay. Like it just they were a product of their circumstances. They got the Knicks. Everybody
Are
thought
we
the Knicks
saying
were
that because we don't feel because it's the Hawks though? Are we saying that because we're so used to the Hawks being this middle of the pack Eastern
it,
Conference team?
it's that, but it's also I don't think they have the fortitude to run it back, to be honest with you. Like to me, it's like one of those teams where, they get hot and they have this moment, but then the following season they can't bring it they can't bring it with them. Nate McMillan is an okay coach. I'm not saying he's a great coach. Like you just you just paid this dude just because he took you to the Eastern Conference
Oh,
Finals.
you
It's like
have to. Yeah, you have to pay
you
him.
had to, like, you're gonna match whoever pays John Collins because you have to. But are these good moves? Like, I don't know. Are they good moves for the Hawks? But are they good moves to get you back to the Eastern Conference Finals when you got Giannis in the finals already and you got the Nets going trying to retool? The Philadelphia is doing something like
But
Boston,
I
like
mean, so I mean, look at
Miami. Do you really think they can make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals? Hell no. They're gonna be a 7 seed next year.
look at those teams though. Look at the teams you just named. You don't believe in the Sixers. Nobody believes in the Sixers. I mean, yeah. Look at the top teams. Look at the teams that are considered to be the top. The Bucks. You're going to believe in the Bucks because they should be at the top of the East consistently. But you don't
They're
believe
gonna have a
Philly.
motivation either way. They're gonna have a motivation to repeat, or they're gonna have a motivation of we got there, we need to finish. So they're gonna be
But
motivated next year.
they also could be the same old Bucks every year from here on out because none of those guys are getting any better. Like if Giannis never develops a jump shot, this team's never going to win. If this dude,
They're in the finals. You can't really. I mean, they're in
okay,
the finals.
they're a Trey Young injury away from not being in the finals.
Very true. I can accept that.
So I'm not so like, and well, we'll talk about the finals here in a second. But I'm just saying, if you look at the teams, look at the Miamis, you look at the Knicks, you look at the Sixers. I think there's a good argument to say the Hawks are right there with that group. They're right there. They could be battling for a top 4 seed for the next 5, 6 years. Why not?
Who does that? Like, let's be honest. Like, people, like regular analysts, you hear them say that on ESPN. This team is, young. The cores are good. They got a great coach, and then they don't do it for one reason or another. Like, I don't. They're not.
No,
They
but you've
don't
seen
have a
teams do it
generational
though.
talent to keep them above water. Like Trey Young's nice, but he ain't all that. To be honest with you.
Hey
Like,
man, listen,
to hold
you
this
get a belt
franchise
for that.
to a top 4 seed and make the Eastern Conference Finals
You see, but you're
3 out
acting
of the
like this.
next 5 years. That's not
You're acting like
that's
this
not
guy
feasible.
can just averaged like 38, bro.
That's not feasible. That
He
I don't
just
think that's feasible.
this dude just averaged 38 in the playoffs. Did you see him?
I did, but it don't do it for me. I don't think he can carry a franchise on his back. You're right. They need a piece, but I don't know.
All right. Well, Pringle says they did ball out. They need another player. Cam Reddish, third member of the Duke Big Three. Yes, he was showing you something. He's got to get better.
He
Coach
wasn't even
Bud,
in rotation until Trey Young got hurt.
same for Coach Bud because he was horrible coaching this playoffs, but because he led them to the finals, he will get re-signed. Yeah. I listen to me. The Bucks are limited too, but we'll talk about that here in a second. I think the Hawks can be a top. I think the Hawks are a top 4 seed again next year.
All right. What day is this? 7-6. I'll bookmark this.
Yeah,
Day.
top 4 seed.
Or they're struggling to get into the playoffs next year. All right. So let's talk about the finals. Do I still have that or no? Okay. So let's get into it, man. So we got the finals. It is the Bucks versus the Suns tonight. All right, 9 o'clock. Game one tonight. So I got a couple questions for you before we get into that whole thing. If I can go ahead and bring it up. So just some regular old questions. Window, that one, share, we in there. All right, so we got the superstars. Like I said before, no LeBron James, no Kevin Durant, no super teams this year. They said the ratings are supposed to be sky high this year. People are loving this. Chris Paul trying to get his first ring after 16 years in the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo, first time in the finals. Was supposed to, former 2-time MVP, former Defensive Player of the Year. Guy don't got a jump shot, but he got a squad to come with him, to rock with him, and both teams made it this far. So who needs the ring more? Giannis, to add to his credibility as an international superstar, or Chris Paul to validate his career?
At first, I thought this was actually an easy answer, but now when you break that down the way you did, it makes me think more about it. I think I was quickly going to say I think CP3 needs it, and I think I might still hold there. Um, but it almost feels like what really CP3 needed was he just needed to get here because he just kept getting hurt and he kept losing. Like so, it almost feels like the monkey's off his back, whether he wins or loses. Is
Ooh,
like you give him more of that moment where like this dude finally made it. Because I think a lot of people already believe he's and I think some people would say he's the greatest point guard ever.
point guard.
Um, I or greatest from I guess, especially from a leadership perspective. But I'm going to hold there and still say he still needs it more because I think it will cement him and it will put him in a position to where he doesn't you just won't be able to take him off that pedestal. So I think he needs it more. I think he's got to finish the job. Giannis, it's hard for me. I
Take your disdain out of it. Take it out. Take it out.
because
Take
I
it.
feel like if the Bucks win, I'm still not gonna validate this dude because
Ooh, that's a good question. Why? No, listen. We can take KD's rings away because he did it with a super team, and he joined the team that crushed him. So he went back and just hanged on, Steph Curry's coattails and got his rings. I can say that because that's how I feel because I'm a hater. But Giannis, they made it to the finals with this team. No super team with this team, with that coach, in that city, in that market, and they're in the finals. You can't take this ring away if he wins.
I won't take it away. But let me just stick with the answer to the question. I feel like CP3 needs it more. And this is the issue I'm having. I feel like if the Bucks win this series, I don't feel like it's gonna be strongly because of Giannis. Like to me, I feel like if the Suns win this series, CP3 is gonna have an MVP caliber series, and that's why they're going to win this series. I don't think the Bucks are going to win this series because Giannis plays great. The Bucks to me have proven that they can win. They can win games without Giannis, and I think they have a very good chance to win this series without Giannis. So him coming back, you got to think if he's out the first two games and then he comes back, it's going to take him a game or two with a knee injury to get back to normal or anywhere close to normal. And we already see a guy who can't shoot free throws, can't shoot jumpers, and goes in the paint, backs back out, and goes back in there again. And could you imagine that, but injured, like playing through that? Like, remember we saw a shell of James Harden?
Yeah,
Could you imagine a shell of Giannis? Like how bad that could be?
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think I'm getting accused of hating. So let me stop.
No, I think he was accusing me of hating on Kevin Durant.
Oh, okay.
People tend to put Durant on pedestals who hate LeBron James. That's the guy they go to. So I think first I was gonna go with Giannis because it just helps build that catalog, right? Two-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, number one seed in the East a number of years, NBA champion, right? Like you can't take that away from him. Best player on the team, some would say. Can't take that away from him, right? But the more and more you talk to me into Chris Paul, you talk to me into Chris Paul. Silver City, Iowa. I don't want to talk to you. Just random people. Yeah, you talking me into Chris Paul, man, because I was of the mindset that of the happy to be here. Like he's in the finals, he finally made it, popped a bottle. Giannis wins, Chris made it to the finals. It's a win-win situation, right? And then I thought about it a little more as you talked, and I was like, it would be great for him to submit his legacy as the point guard with the ring, right? John Stockton don't got the ring. Him and Isaiah will go head to head, as the best point guard. Magic, that'll be a three-man race. So he would be a step ahead of, guys like Stockton with the ring. So I'm gonna change my answer in my mind. In my mind, I was answering Giannis, but right now, you made me go CP3. So I'll go CP3.
All right, my pop said respect Trey's skills. Hawks will repeat and make the playoffs again next
I didn't
season.
say they weren't gonna make the playoffs. I just said they want to go back to the Eastern Conference Final, and they're gonna be a 7 seed.
Pringle says CP3's got to win. I believe we were talking about CP, so I think he's saying CP3's got to win. Pop said, "Yep, Chris for validation." Pringle said, "You're hating now." One of us is hating. I'm not sure if it was you or me. Think of you. Petey says, "Giannis, this was far from a reality for him in the first year of Giannis. Huge contract too. After everyone thought he was ridiculous for signing in a market where superstar talent doesn't want to go."
That's true.
That's a good point.
That's true because that definitely
That's
could
a
have been a
very good point.
storyline throughout this whole thing. Like him going into free agency next year would have been a whole thing. It would have been the same
Yeah,
contract he signs then he signs now. So that's true.
yeah,
Very
very
true.
good point.
All right. So next up on these storylines to the road to the finals. All right. Who will have the bigger impact? We talk about the megastars, Chris Paul, Giannis. Those are the guys who are seeking those ring validations. But there's two other guys that are in this series that are just as important, if not more important, than the two guys we just talked about for each team. Which is kind of crazy that the superstars might not be the most important guys on this on in this finals, which is Devin Booker and Chris Middleton. Devin Booker leads the team in scoring, the Kobe gene, some might say, definitely on his way to being a top 10 player in the NBA. Chris Middleton, the only guy that can get his own bucket on the Bucks, definitely put the team on his back in the last series and got them to the finals. Might have to do it a couple games without Giannis. So who will have the bigger impact moving forward?
Yeah, just to confirm, it was me. I was being accused of hating, just so you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was me. Me on Giannis. So this is interesting because I think every finals we you pull this question, right, and so we always talk about bigger impact and how we frame that question in our head. So again, you pointed it out. You got two players that absolutely have to be ballers in this series for each one of their teams to win. So when I look at this matchup, I think to myself, which team needs that player to have that big impact in order for them to win? And I think Milwaukee needs Middleton more because to me, Middleton has to win this series. If Middleton is the MVP of the series, if we wake up or we're watching the game and they're handing Middleton the trophy, that means the Bucks just won the series. Because I don't see unless we really do see this freak of nature situation, I don't see Giannis coming back and being 100. So that means Middleton has to do what he did against the Hawks. And my man caught torch. He didn't just catch fire. My man caught blaze against the
Yep.
Hawks and went nuts for 2 games. So if he does that for 4 wins and you get contribution, then you're gonna see the Bucks hoisting Larry O'Brien. So I think that's who has to have a bigger impact. It has to be Middleton. They both have to have it though. Like what you saw CP do to close out the Clippers to me was phenomenal for CP. But we've never. That was my first time feeling like I'm really watching CP3 literally take over a game, like take over, put a team on his back and scored a bucket. That I don't. That doesn't happen often. So what we saw him do to close out the Clips, I don't know if I'm going to see him do that 4 times in the series. I can see him getting everybody involved, scoring when he needs to score, making a little fadeaway elbow jumper, and things of that. Being CP3 being CP3 because they can't win without him. But you need Booker to be booked. You need Book to be the guy he was in the series at the beginning against the Clippers. You need him to be who he was the series before that. Um, so at the end of the day, however, the biggest impact has to come from Middleton. The Bucks don't win this series without him.
I agree with you, but you changed the question.
I did. Who will
Still
have?
have the bigger impact. They both need big. They both need big games every game.
Well, it's still so I think I still have the same answer. Who will have it? I think Middleton will have it because he has to. I think he had. Like, I think if the Bucks win it, it's because he had that biggest impact. I think Booker can do what he does, and Middleton can do what he does. But if Middleton does what he did against the Hawks, against Phoenix, and Book plays the way he did after he broke his nose, then you could have Bucks and 6 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I'm going with Booker. I think he will. I feel like the essence of the question is like, who are you putting your chips on? Like, who will have the biggest impact in this series between these two guys?
I
And
want to put it on Booker. I do.
yeah, who I would trust more will probably be on Book. That's the way that the Phoenix Suns play basketball. They have a lot of shooting weapons, so it's hard to double up on him and let Chris Paul pick you apart. So you just got to kind of play team defense, and playing team defense on Devin Booker is not a good thing. So I feel like he can flame up on this one. Chris Middleton, now knowing that he is the focal point, or forever knowing that he is the focal point of the offense, but now ever more so since Giannis might not play these first couple games, it'll be easier to key on him and throw bodies at him and disrupt him. And we've seen Chris Middleton go ice cold. Like that flamethrower series was kind of an anomaly compared to how cold he was before that. Like he had his stretches of just, not being present. And I don't think Book's really had that consistently even in his career, but especially in these playoffs. He's been rather consistent. I don't think he's needed to hit 30 and 40 because the Suns have kind of been handling everybody that they've been playing. But, for the Bucks team defense to try to shut down Devin Booker, I feel like that I'll put my chips on Book for having a bigger impact because I don't think the defense can slow him down on this one.
See, here's the thing.
I feel like
PJ Tucker's going to guard Devin Booker.
I don't think so.
As much as I don't care for PJ Tucker, PJ. I mean, you can argue that Dirty Man.
I would think PJ would be on Aiden, and Drew Holiday will have to be on. I think Chris got to play two-way. That's even worse for him.
Well, you don't want Middleton to guard Booker. Neither team wants the shooting guards to guard each other. They're going to cross match. CP is going to probably try to play Middleton up tight. PJ Tucker's kind of, I think, in this series, kind of in no man's land because they're going to play Brook Lopez. Because now that without Giannis, they got to play it big. If you don't play Brook Lopez, then you're going to be too small.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if PJ Tucker is going to be a good choice in the middle with him. I think if you don't have CP3, then maybe. But with CP3 and Devin Booker, and you put PJ Tucker on Ayton, I think you're begging CP3 to just go be who you are, like pick and roll the to death, lob, positioning. Death. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Okay,
so I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see those matchups. All right, so next up, I didn't finish this one, but so I got these two guys up here. Who is we talked about a couple of these guys. Who will be the other guy? Who will be the guy that has the game? We all know the guy that has the game. 6 for 9 from 3-point, couldn't stop him. The dude just was unconscious one game and won them the game. You got guys like Drew Holiday. You got Jay Crowder. We talked about PJ Tucker. Talked about Brook Lopez, DeAndre Ayton. Who do you think will be that guy?
Yeah, so I think for the Bucks it has to be Drew Holiday, because to me he's got to be the guy that they signed him to be. Which again, he also had a good closeout against the Hawks. Like, when you take stars off of teams, it makes guys kind of step up, but I think it also gets guys who are super comfortable because they can kind of be their natural selves instead of being who they have to be by playing with a star. So I think for the Bucks, Drew Holiday's got to definitely still play next level. He's got to be a scorer. He can't turn the ball over. I think he's got to be that next guy. It's Middleton and Holiday if you don't have Giannis on the floor. So now they become your 1-2 punch. It can't be a lot of Middleton and a little bit of Holiday. Drew's got to play, 15, 20-point ball with some assists and a couple steals. He's really got to, I think, pick the stat sheet up again. On the other side, the Jay Crowder picture, I wish he'd go somewhere and sit down. Like, I'm, I'm tired of this guy shooting, bro. Like this dude cannot. I was like, every time he shot the ball against the Clippers, I was like, oh my god, please stop.
Oh my god.
Like
Oh my
stop.
god.
Like Jay Crowder, stop. And Paul George was giving you that work. Like
Mm.
you're supposed to be the defensive stopper guy. He would be the Giannis guy, But to me, it's players like Cam Johnson and Cam Payne. Those are two players that come to mind. DeAndre Ayton, right? The third option for them. It's those guys for me, the youngsters, big stage, the others. They're the others in this group. You feel like you know what CP is going to do. You feel like you know what Devin Booker's going to do. Cam Johnson had the one, that game 2 game. After Devin went off in game 1, Cam Johnson goes off in game 2, right? So CP3's at home watching it on TV. Cam Johnson balls out. He can't be stopped getting to the rim. But then he kind of disappears. I'm sorry, campaign. Cam Johnson, couple of good games, comes off the bench, makes a couple threes. Other DeAndre Ayton, game-winning dunk. Big fella was making the turnaround. Jay, being big, being strong on the inside. Those are the guys I feel like Phoenix. Jay Crowder, just defend, but stop shooting the 3 ball, please. You're not hot this playoffs. Watch, he's gonna burn me too. Watch, he's gonna score like 25 and one.
Watch you score 25 points.
Yeah.
he's gonna kill that 3 ball.
Let me catch up on some people before you give your piece. Petey said Chris Middleton's impact will determine how confident the Bucks play. He also said Brook Lopez has to have a great series as well. Chris could drop 30 and the Bucks could still lose by 2, but if D-Book dropped 30, more than likely the Suns do win. Yep. These both my dogs for real. They need to come to Atlanta. Yep. Okay. Yep. That's right. You want Jay Crowder in Atlanta. Drew got to help Chris out a lot. And again, Brook Lopez got to hit some shots. All right. Yeah, the Brook Lopez piece for the Bucks. He's an extra piece, a big that can make a 3 too. So that helps them. I think the Bucks need a lot of help. I think the Suns need to be themselves.
Yeah, I think the answer to this too. I was gonna say Drew Holiday, but I really like how you and PD broke down the Brook Lopez thing, and I'm gonna go with Brook Lopez. I think he has that game this year in this series without Giannis. Him in that matchup with DeAndre Ayton might be able to take advantage of the young guy, but also get him out the paint. I mean, offensively, standing out in the corner, getting Ayton out the paint helps the penetration for Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday and those guys to get in there and create. And then if he does sag in, he can kick out. And Brook Lopez can knock down that 3. So I think Brook Lopez needs to have a huge game 1 and game 2 if Giannis don't play these games for these guys to win. So, yeah, my money's on Brook Lopez to have that game.
The Giannis watch. He's testing out the knee before game 1.
All right, last one. Well, not last one, but last slide. Game 1 tonight, 9 o'clock in the Valley. Suns Bucks. With Giannis, without Giannis. Who you got tonight?
Just tonight, I'm going Phoenix game 1. Phoenix at home. They're going to win game 1. Place is going to be on fire. No pun intended. And they're going to be ready to go. I think the rest is going to help. They're the healthiest team, and I think that it's just a tough mountain to climb without Giannis. And it's interesting too because I'm getting that feeling like, man, everybody's saying Phoenix because no Giannis, and that's the perfect game for the Bucks to come out and win. But we'll just have to see about that. But yeah, I'm going to call it Phoenix tonight. Game 1, they'll be up 1-0.
All right. Yeah, tonight, no Giannis. I feel like the Suns kill him. I feel like the Suns kill them tonight. Absolutely obliterate them. Not enough firepower. Not enough weapons. Not enough. Like, without Giannis on the floor, he is an offensive liability in a lot of ways, but you still have to account for him. And your defense changes when Giannis is on the floor. You got to build that wall. And without Giannis, you don't have to build a wall. You can just play regular old schmegler defense. You know what I'm saying? And key up on Chris Middleton. So not a lot of things for for Phoenix to really think about defensively, and they can just play their game. The Drew Holiday CP3 matchup is definitely the matchup to look for, along with the Brook Lopez DeAndre Ayton matchup. But I look for close. I, I want to say 20-12 from Chris Paul. A consistent, nothing crazy. He don't need 30. He don't need 35. Book pace him out with a 28, 29 point game. Aiden with 17 and 11. Mikal Bridges, Cam Jordan. Those guys. Just have a regular Suns outing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this can be a game where it's like 124 to 107 or something like that.
It's interesting. A blowout in game one.
Blowout in game one. Because then tomorrow is going to be the overreaction.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's gonna be an overreaction to all of these games. I mean, if the Bucks get a win tonight, the sky's falling in Phoenix tomorrow.
Sky's falling, most definitely.
And Cam Jordan plays for the Saints.
That is true.
But good job. Good job.
All right, and then overall for the series, so we won't see you guys until after game 3.
Picks.
Game 2 is on Thursday. Game 3 is on Sunday. So somebody will be up 2-1 or 3-0 when we come back on Monday. Overall, this series, who you got?
Who you got? Let's let that breathe a little bit. Let's see. Speak up. Those of you in the chat, speak up. Kobe, Pringle, Petey, Perry, speak up. Pop. Name it and claim it right here. Who's it going to be? Petey says, Suns in 6.
He ain't going to pick the team that beat his Hawks.
That's true. Suns
in 6.
What?
I'm going to go Suns in 5.
Bro, what is going on?
I'm going to go Suns in 5. The whole Giannis, the knee thing, I think he's done. Do you see that knee bend back like that?
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna.
He had no business jumping in the first place.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be the same. Even then, his impact would be in a realm of dunks and defensive scheme just to stop him. Like Chris Middleton got an average 40, and I don't see that happening. I think the Suns in 5. I think when we come back, the Suns will be up 2-1.
Wow, Suns in 5. Dang, bro. That's tempting. That's very tempting. I'm gonna go Suns in 6 as well. I think that Bucks are good enough to get 2. I think Middleton and that group are gonna fight. The way they fought against Atlanta, I think showed that they could, definitely try to get this done without Giannis. I do think the knee injury with Giannis is a lot more serious than they're letting on to be, or maybe they're not necessarily even not trying not to let on. But that thing definitely bent the wrong way. And then he was walking in tonight, and you could tell he's not even walking normal. It's not one of those things where like they look normal, but then when they get out there and try to test it, it's hurting. He doesn't even look like he's walking normal, so that he's got a little bit of a limp there, which means there's pain even when he's not trying to work it. So yeah, I'm gonna go Phoenix in 6, but I still think the Bucks can get 1. Definitely 1 at home. I think when we come back though on Monday, I do think you're right. I think the series is 2-1 Phoenix. I think the Bucks will be the first team that, because every series we expect that team that's down 0-2 to get the proverbial guaranteed game 3 win. In that Phoenix series against the Clippers, they even called out the right refs to try to make sure that happened.
If Chris Paul sees Foster, he know he lost. You see Foster? Is it Greg Foster? It was one of those. It's just Foster.
Foster, I think.
Yeah, Scott Foster. If he sees Scott Foster, he know he lost. Okay? That is the ref for the NBA. That is extendo ref. He is Joey Crawford 2.0. If you see Scott Foster, Chris Paul, you lost.
My pop said Suns in 6. Petey said Bridges is going to surprise y'all. Remember he said it first. Perry says Suns and whatever. Yeah, I got Suns in 6. I do think when we come back though, we're 2-1. I agree with you. I think that the Bucks will get the proverbial Game 3 guaranteed win back at home, and then I think Monday when we return, that'll be an off day for the series because they'll play again on Tuesday because they'll still be in Milwaukee. I think you're looking at the Suns with a chance to take a stranglehold on the series and go up 3-1.
There you go.
Suns in 6, Suns in 5. We both got the Suns. John, welcome to the show. New chatter, new participant in the chat. John Bazaar says Sun in 5. Man, welcome to the show, man. We appreciate it. Let's shout him out there. Throw him up there.
Searching for the Bucks fans.
Bucks fans, where you at?
Where's the Bucks fans? All right, now if they end up winning this series, I don't want to hear nothing. We all wrong together.
Yep. Nobody in this point try to flip on us and be like, I told you.
Don't you dare flip. Don't you dare flip. All right, so with that said, let's play the Bills. You know already. The show is sponsored by Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing, both licensed and insured. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices, whether it's just getting up the cold waterproofing the daily home services. We suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com gives you a map of all the areas that they service as well as these services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
Because that man right there is the real MVP. academysportshow@gmail.com is the best way to get in touch with us. If you have a meme, if you want to get back to what the meme, if you got a meme you want to send us there, or if you just want to be a part of the show, you want to schedule something, or you got a topic, or you just want to, product placement, or you want to be a sponsor of the show, let us know. academysportshow@gmail.com is the best way to do it as well.
As well. I don't know what as well was about to be. I don't know what he was about to say, but he definitely disappeared on us. Produced by PD Man, one band, one sound. Wait, here he comes back.
Press the wrong button. As well as as well as our tags. You see them below at JWill02 and at Dre _on air. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at Academy Sports Show. But the best way to follow us is the YouTube, baby. Type in Academy Sports Show, find the caricature of our faces, subscribe to it, and trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live, because we normally go live, for everybody new in the chat, on Mondays at 7 o'clock. Had to switch it up today to a Tuesday. But we appreciate everybody that came in, because you know why? They hit the notification bell. They knew we was live, and we all family in here, because this show ain't nothing without y'all. So we appreciate everybody in here. And the best way to help us grow is to share. Please share the link. Please share the feed. Please share the Facebook. Please share the Instagram. Please share it all so we can get more people up in here every Monday night. Listen, is Comcast located in Milwaukee? Because
no, they're based out of Philadelphia.
I tried to cut the feed to the box that I had up, but I exited out the wrong thing. I meant to cut off Canva, but I cut off StreamYard. So it happens.
It happens. You did a good job of coming back in and gaining control again quickly.
I appreciate it. All right, bro. You got anything else for us?
That's it, man. Remember, we're back live and better than another Monday.
Monday.
Talking about
we'll see y'all Monday.
This series, man. So we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the finals. I think we're out.
Enjoy the finals.